Vanakkam. Welcome to episode 2 of our series focusing on better utilization of SAP to drive your business value. Today we are going to look at a real business problem, dynamic requirements. Getting requirements is good for business. If these requirements change suddenly, what happens? Deliveries get delayed or we end up carrying excess inventory. Both hurt the business. Many planners ask, reorder point planning looks fine in theory, but why does it fail when sudden demand spikes occur? Don't worry, there is a way to handle this inside SAP. In this session, I will show you how to manage these challenges using MRP type V1 with strategy 40 and schedule line CP. By the end, you will see how a simple reorder point method can be made dynamic enough to respond to sudden sale orders, dependent requirements, and reservations without overstocking or missing deliveries. What do we mean by dynamic requirements in real life? Dynamic requirements come from multiple sources: sales orders from direct customers, dependent requirements from production orders, reservations from maintenance or network orders, requirements from stock transfer requirements, stock transfer orders, stocks and stock transfer deliveries, or components required for subcontracting orders. A good planning method must capture all these right away, not until the stock physically falls below the reorder point to avoid shortages. This will help in improving the customer service while balancing financials of the organization. Reorder point planning VB works fine with stable demand. In reality, demand spike can occur suddenly. Why does static reorder point planning VB fail when there is a spike in demand? In this basic method, MRP type VB, procurement is triggered only when stock falls below the reorder point. While using regular reorder point planning, the available stock appears sufficient. Procurement is not triggered on time. Customer orders and the production requirements are not served. Now imagine this situation. For a component, there is a stock of 150 units. Reorder point defined is 120 units. Already there is a requirement for sale order of 70 units and the internal requirements of 50 units. Now there is a new sales order for 80 units received. SAP sees 150 stock which is above 120. So no procurement is triggered. But in reality, after allocating the already available requirements, that is 70 plus 50, 120 units, you only have 30 left and you cannot serve the future demand. So the new sales order, we are not able to meet the requirement. This is the gap. Businesses using simple reorder point planning often fail when sudden demand spikes happen. When static reorder point planning with MRP type VB is used, business KPIs take a hit. Deliveries slip because the system does not react in time. To avoid shortages, planners keep more inventory, but that locks working capital. Emergency expediting becomes routine, costing extra. And since dependent requirements or reservations are ignored, visibility is poor. What the business really needs is a planning method that reacts dynamically, and that is where the MRP type V1 comes in. Let us move on to discuss the logic built in SAP to address this critical business challenge. And we will discuss the business case to demonstrate how the solution is addressed with MRP type V1. MRP type V1 considers not only reorder point for planning, but also it considers dynamic requirements from external and internal sources. Here is how it works. MRP type V1 calculates virtual stock by reducing the external requirements from sales orders, production orders, stock transfer orders, etc. from the available stock. Then this virtual stock is compared with the reorder point. If the virtual stock is below reorder point, procurement is triggered. Let us illustrate. Current stock is 150 units with ROP defined as 100. There are requirements from sale order with 80 units and dependent requirement with 30 units. So the total requirement is 110. In this condition, the virtual stock is arrived as 150 minus 110, that is 40. This is below reorder point 100 and procurement proposal is triggered. This makes reorder point dynamic because the system reacts before shortages physically happen. MRP type V1 alone is not enough. Planning strategy matters. Combining with V1, strategy blank or strategy 10 with requirement type KSL, ignore external requirements from sales orders. They consider only the dependent requirements from production order, reservation, etc. Combining with V1, strategy 40 with the requirement type KSV detects sales orders along with dependent requirements, reservations, etc. So, only strategy 40 makes V1 respond dynamically for increase in demand from both the sales orders and other external requirements. Let us start with business case to demonstrate this difference in SAP. For our discussion, we take 5 different materials with different combinations of MRP type and planning strategy. For example, we took CP1031 with VB and planning strategy 10 and CP1032 with MRP type VB and planning strategy 40 and so on. Please note that the metal master parameters for planning are kept the same for all materials. Also, we kept the opening stock and requirements from production orders same for all these 5 items. This will help us to understand the real impact of the combination of MRP type and planning strategy on planning and procurement proposals when we have dynamic requirement. So now let us see the list of materials used for our business case and also their parameters. So MM60 is the transaction code. We go there and see all the metals with 103 as a starting point. So let us execute this transaction. Please see this selection parameter. How do we take? I am willing to take only those metals with these parameters. So these are small tips you can learn. See here we are having 5 materials with MRP type, first 2 items with VB, then the latter 3 are V1. So now here we see only MRP type. So let us go to the metal master for each item and see the other parameters. So first let us see with CP1031 and we selected all 4 MRP views. So MRP1 view, here we have the MRP type VB, reorder point 100, fixed lot size 120. MRP2 safety stock is 75, MRP3 planning strategy 10. Now we go to the next material CP1032. Then we go and see the same parameters, that is MRP type VB, then fixed lot size 120, and then we go to MRP2 safety stock 75, and then we go to MRP3 where we see the planning strategy 40. So here VB MRP type, but planning strategy changed from 10 to 40. Then 33 where we go and see the MRP type which is V1 now, but strategy is 10. So here MRP type is V1 with ROP 100, fixed lot size 120, safety stock is 75. Then MRP3 is 10 year, the planning strategy. So now it is MRP type V1 and strategy 10. You can see the description itself, the combination I defined here. Then we see CP1034. Here we defined MRP type V1, the same reorder point and fixed lot size quantity. MRP2 safety stock. MRP3 we see here the planning strategy 40. So now it is V1 and 40. As another case, we take 1035 where we keep planning strategy blank. So here MRP type V1 and ROP and fixed lot size are defined. Then MRP2, we see the safety stock. Then we go to MRP3, where the strategy is kept blank. So we have all different combinations to do our testing. So let us start. Next, we will discuss how the sales order parameters are determined for the MRP type and planning strategy combination defined in Metal Master. First, we see the combination of MRP type and schedule lane category. For MRP type VB, schedule lane category is CV, and for MRP type V1, it is CP. CV is consumption MRP and it considers only ROP. CP is MRP and it considers ROP plus external requirements. The combination of planning strategy and requirement type. For planning strategy 10, requirement type is KSL, and for planning strategy 40, requirement type is KSV. KSL ignores sales requirements. KSV considers sales requirements. As combination, MRP type VB with strategy 10 or 40 considers only ROP. MRP type V1 with strategy 10 considers only dependent requirements. MRP type V1 with the planning strategy 40 considers sales requirements and dependent requirements. Let us see how these are linked in SAP configuration. First, we will see how the schedule and categories are defined in SAP configuration. So we go to the transaction SPRO, here sales documents, and then here we see the schedule lines. Here we see the assign schedule line categories. So here we go and see the item category, because when we create sales order, normally we follow the standard items. So let us see the item category with the possible entries. Here it is telling the help document says it is the sales document category. Please go through the description given here. Now we'll see the possible entries with F4. Now it says various options. Now we are going to use the standard item, which is TAN. Okay. So now let us search what are the details available for this TAN. Here the schedule line available. Here we use this position, enter TAN in the item category. So now we see against TAN various MRP types are there. So MRP type blank, then MRP type ND, P1, P2, PD, VB, VM, VB, like these various things are there. For each one there is a primary schedule line category defined, and also the next schedule line category also given, that is alternate. So when we create sale order, we can go and change the schedule line category. So here it is defined what is the proposed schedule line category when you are using the standard item with the MRP type. So it is a combination. So when it is defined with a combination of the sales order document type and MRP, sorry, the item category type and MRP type, then system will pick it automatically. And also it will ensure the requirement pass to MRP, it allows goods issue, it allows the inventory management. These things are possible through schedule line category. Now with for ND, it is defined as CN. CN means which is no planning. You know MRP type ND means no planning. So CN is also no metal planning. When we go and see P1, it is attached with CP, which is the MRP planning. So here we can see CP is MRP planning. And then for VB, we can see the schedule line category defined as CV, which is the consumption MRP, that is the consumption based planning. This is how the schedule line categories are defined. Now, if MRP type is not assigned, if it is blank means for all those MRPs which is not assigned, system will consider schedule line category CP here. So in our case for V1, by default, system will take schedule line category CP. But during sale order creation, we can change CP to CN. That is what this configuration says. Whether it is right or not, that is different. But as per this configuration, instead of CP, we can take CN also. Now we'll see how planning strategy and requirement types are linked. In SPRO, under production planning, demand management, planning strategy, define strategy. So let us go inside. So here against strategy 10, the requirement type for demand management is LSF. For customer order it is KSL. This is what we mentioned for strategy 10 KSL. Similarly for strategy 40 it is KSV. So this is how the requirement types are defined for each planning strategy. For each item, we created sales orders 1124, 1125, 1126 and so on. For the combination of MRP type and planning strategy, expected schedule line category and requirement types are given. For example, for material CP1033 with a combination of MRP type V1 and strategy 10, sale order 1126 is created. It should be created with schedule line category CP and requirement type KSL because MRP type is V1, strategy is 10. Similarly, for CP1034 with a combination of V1 and 40, sale order 1127 is created. It should have schedule line category CP and a requirement type KSV. Let us go through the sales orders in system and check the schedule line category and requirement type for each material in the respective sales orders. Let us see the sale orders and their schedule lines and um, requirement types here. This is VA05. We give materials from CP1031 to CP1035. Sales organization 1710. We are interested in open orders. So we'll go and select open orders for this selection criteria. Then we execute this transaction. So now we see various sales orders for these materials like 1, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So first we'll work on 1124. So here this 1124 is for the material CP1031. Now let us go to the procurement tab. So here you can observe the schedule line category CV and requirement type KSL because the planning strategy is VB and strategy is 10. Next we'll go to 1125. So this is for material 1032. In procurement tab we see the schedule in category CV and requirement type KSV because the MRP type VB and strategy 40. Similarly then 1126. Here this is for 1033. We go to the procurement tab. Here the schedule and category CP and KSL because it is strategy 40 and MRP type V1 strategy 10. Then we go to 1127. This is for material 1034. In procurement tab it is showing CP and KSV. Here the strategy is 40, MRP type is V1. Similarly, we'll go to the next material 1035. This is under sales order 1128. Okay, let us go to 1128. So here we will see the material 1035. Go to the procurement tab. So here the scheduling category is CP but requirement is blank because planning strategy is defined as blank for this material in MRP3 view. Hope you remember. So this is the how the scheduling category and the requirement types are passing to the sale orders with respect to their MRP type and planning strategy. As discussed earlier, dynamic requirements do not come from sale orders only, but also from production orders, maintenance and network orders, stock transfer orders, and subcontracting components. For our business case, let us include the production orders. Here, we listed the parent product for each component. Let us see the inclusion of these components in BOM, planned orders, and the production orders of their parent items. Now let us see the BOM of each item. So the parent item is here OP1001. Here we have the 1032, 1034 and 1035 which are the components which we took for our business case. Next we will go to the BOM of IP1001. So here we will see which components are linked. Sorry, the number should be IP1001. So now here we see the CP1031 and the CP1033. So these are the items which I included randomly in these sub-assemblies as the components. Now let us go and see each item the planned orders and also the production orders, how they are there. So we'll go one by one. IP1001. So here we have production order for 100 and also planned orders for 2 items. So this is the planned order. In this planned order, production order, under components tab, we see the items of our business case, that is CP1031, 1033. This is the IP101 production order. Okay. Then we'll go and see the planned orders of this IP101. So it will display. For planned orders, to see the components, go to the top left icon components view. So here we see CP1031 and 1033. Here the components are linked. Similarly, let us go to the product OP1001. Okay. So there we'll see which are all the production orders and also which are all the planned orders. So now here we see the planned order. So in planned order, we display it. Go to the components overview. So here we see the components 1032, 1034 and 1035. Now let us go and see the production order for this OP1001. So we go back to the MD04. See, I'm operating everything from MD04 itself. Okay. So here production order display from this page. Then here we go to the production order components tab, and here we see the components which are linked with OP101. So these are 32 CP10332, 34 and 35. These 3 components are linked here. Okay. So now we saw the components in BOM and also how they are linked in the planned orders and also the production orders. So these are the pegged requirements which we will be considering in our business case test scenarios. Next, let us see how the sales orders and the pegged requirements are carried over to stock requirement list based on their MRP type and planning strategy. Let us go one by one, starting with CP1031 with MRP type VB and strategy 10. Now we will see the status of CP1031, which is having the MRP type 10 and MRP type VB, and we'll go and see the planning strategy 10. So this is the combination of VB and 10, MRP type VB and strategy 10. Okay. So now let us see the MD04 for this item, the stock requirement list. See, always please refer the MD04, which is very good transaction. But before that, let us see the sale orders created for this item. Open sale orders 1031 in organization 1710. So here we have the sales orders 1124 created for this item. Okay. So here we have the sales orders created for this item for 140 numbers, 140 units created. Okay. All with schedule in category CV and requirement type KSL. Okay. Next, let us go to the MD04. Okay. So MD04 is a very powerful report. Please always use it. It will give a lot of insights. That is why I'm using it more here. So this MD04 1031, the reorder type is VB. Again, we see here only the order reservation which is displayed. Okay. Order reservation is displayed, the production order. So we are not seeing the sale order, or we are not seeing any planned order also. So it is showing the production order with its respective reservation number also. Now we can use the filter option in stock requirement. This is the filter option. Okay, filter on. So in the selection rule, if we go and select, there is a second one, no? SAP requirements and stocks. If you open this, we see the requirements coming from planned orders also. So now we see the planned orders. Please go through the MRP element name. Okay, that is very important here. For production order, it was showing as order reservation ORDRES. For planned order, is showing as DEP REQ. So now without filter, we were able to see the production order requirements. With filter, we are able to see the plant order requirements, but we have not seen the requirement coming from sales order. So this is the behavior of material with MRP type VB and schedule in category CV with the planning strategy 10 and requirement type KSL. Whatever we saw, the demonstration live are shown here and summarized as a screenshot and table. You can pause here and see the details for getting more clarity. Next, we will see the details of CP1032 with MRP type VB and strategy 40. We will see the material master details in MRP1 and MRP3 views, the MRP type and planning strategy. So you can see in MRP1 planning strategy is VB with other details, reorder point, fixed lot size, quantity. Then in MRP2 we have safety stock. In MRP3 we have planning strategy defined as 40. So this is the material with MRP type VB and planning strategy 40. Now we go and see the sale order through VA05. We enter the material details. Then we run the transaction for open sales orders. We execute it. Then we see the list of sale orders created for this item, which is 1125 the sales order. We go inside and in procurement tab, we can see the schedule line category as CV for the MRP type VB, then requirement type as KEV for the planning strategy, KSV for the planning strategy 40. Now we go to MD04 stock requirement list with for the plant 1710 metal CP1032. So here we see the demand requirements for this material, okay, because we entered some demand there, but it is showing only the production order related requirements. It is not showing the sale order related requirements here. Okay, so this is a production order requirement. Sale order is not displayed. Right, now using the filter function, let us go to the selection rule. See, this is the filter, enabling the filter. We go to the selection rule. Let us go and see all the requirements. Here also we don't see any sale order, but we see the planned orders. See, planned order MRP element name is DEP or EQ. Okay, planned order MRP element name is DEP or EQ, dependent requirement. Production order element name is ORD or EQ, order requirement. Okay, this is how we see that. So these things you can see here by clicking on the F1 on the MRP element. You'll see the planned order, production order, like that. So it is why I am showing it here. Understanding the details in MD04 is very important. So this is giving every detail about a material you are seeing in that particular plant or MRP area. So it is very important to understand each parameter. See, now here you see the dependent requirement and also the plant order requirements will be shown here, that the dependent requirement coming from plant orders. So all the details you can see the abbreviation here. Okay, right. So the summary is what? The summary is the sale order is not displayed, but production order requirements are shown as it is, but the planned orders were displayed only through the filter in the selection rule. So please go through these details. If needed, please pause here to get more clarity. Next, we will see the details related to the material CP1033 having MRP type V1 and planning strategy 10. We'll see the metal master to see the MRP type and planning strategy. They are in the views MRP1 and 3. So in MRP1, we see the MRP type as V1, and also we see other parameters like ROP, lot sizing procedure, fixed lot size quantity. And in MRP2, we maintain the safety stock. MRP3, we have strategy 40. Okay, sorry, strategy 10, because this is the MRP type V1 and strategy 10. Okay, This is the third case. So we see the sale order for this. This item is MRP type V1 and strategy 10. So now we execute the transaction. The sale order is 1126. Here we go and see the procurement tab. Here you can see the schedule line category created as CP because the MRP type is V1. Requirement type is KSL because the planning strategy is 10. Now we go and see the MD04 stock requirement list. So here we see the sale orders are displayed, right? The sale orders are displayed. All the items, we have 5 line items, but you can see here the available quantity calculation, the sale order quantity is not considered. It is not considered here. Okay. And also we see the production order requirement, the ORD REQ, that is also available. So the sale orders are displayed, but is not considered for available quantity calculation. This is V1 and 10 combination, but production order is available. Now through filter we see all the requirements, and here now again we see all the planned order requirements. So without doing any filtration, we were able to see the sale orders and production order requirements. Planned orders are displayed with the selection rule filter. So in summary, for material having MRP type V1 and planning strategy 10, the sale orders are displayed, but they are not considered for available quantity calculation. Please refer the table given in the bottom and also the MD04 screenshot. And the pegged requirements from production orders are displayed as it is. The requirements from planned orders are displayed with the selection rule filter. So next we'll go through the material CP1034, which is having MRP type V1 and strategy 40. We go through the metal master through MM03. We will for CP1034, the views MRP 1, 2 and 3. In MRP 1, we see the MRP type V1 and also the reorder point, fixed loss sales procedure and fixed height quantity. MRP 2 we have the safety stock. MRP 3 view we have planning strategy 40. So this is the combination of MRP type V1 and strategy 40. Now we see the sale orders through VA05 for the metal CP1034. All the open orders in the sales organization 1710 we see. The sale order created for this metal is 1127. Let us go into that. So here you go to the procurement tab. So there we see the schedule in category CP because of MRP type V1, requirement type KSV because of planning strategy 40. So these things are picked properly. In MD04, we go and see the details for the metal in the plant. And here we see all the sale orders are displayed item wise, and also they are considered for available quantity calculation here in the column, no last but one column in MD04. And also the requirement from production order displayed, ORD RES, that MRP element is displayed. Requirement from planned order is not displayed. So as usual, let us go to the filter and selection rule. We'll display all the requirements and stocks through the filter. So here now we can see the requirements from planned order also. Okay, so this is the MD04 status for this metal 1034. And here I am showing the production order and planned order details. Especially please understand the MRP element names. Customer order means US order, production order requirement means order requirement, ORD RES, order reservation, planned order means DEP or EQ. All these MRP elements you need to be clear. So for the metal with MRP type V1 and strategy 40, all the sale orders were displayed and the requirements were considered in available quantity calculation in MD04 page. And also the pegged requirements from production orders were displayed as such, and the pegged requirement from planned order were displayed through the filter with the selection rule. So now please see the progress what is happening here. For MRP type VB, for both strategy 10 and 40, system has not displayed the sales orders. Okay, for MRP type V1 with strategy 10, it displayed the sale orders, but it was not considering it for available quantity calculation. Similarly, for strategy 40, it has considered it. I mean, it was displayed and also it considered for available quantity calculation. So this is the progress with respect to sale orders. When you come to the production order, for all the materials, all the MRP types, they were shown as it is. And we don't need to do any filter. So the production order reservations were shown as it is. But the pegged requirements from planned order were displayed only through the filter. But again, we can go and do a change in the configuration of those selection rule of the filter so that some details may be changed. But here I kept the standard settings so that it will help us to understand what exactly is happening through SAP standard setting function. Okay, let us see the details of CP1035 through MM03. We'll go through MRP1 and MRP3 views, especially in MRP1 view. As usual, we'll see the MRP type V1, reorder point quantity 100, and also lot sizing procedure effects, fixed lot size 120. Next, in MRP2, we have the safety stock maintained and also lead time is maintained there. MRP3, we kept planning strategy blank. Please note it is blank. No strategy is given. Now let us go and see the sale order. VA05, CP1035, 1710 sales arc, and open sale orders. Let us execute and see the order list. So here we see the sale order created for this item is 1128. So these 1128, let us go inside, go to the procurement tab. So here we see the schedule in category is CP from MRP type V1, but requirement type is blank because planning strategy is blank, requirement type is blank here. Now we go to stock requirement list through MD04. So here we see only the production order reservation quantity, the requirement from production order reservation ORD RES is displayed. The requirement from planned order is not displayed, but through filter we can see the requirement from planned order as DEP REQ is displayed. Please note there is no display of the sale order requirement. So this is the production order, and we'll also see the details of the planned order. So only the details from planned order and production order displayed. Production order displayed as it is. Planned order displayed with the filter. Sale orders are not displayed for this item. Please pause here to summarize the details what we discussed so far. So now please note the combination of V1 and the blank, the strategy blank, it is behaving like VB, but actually the planning process will be little different. But here with respect to display of the details, it is behaving like exactly like VB only. What will be the difference? The difference of the process will be VB will not consider any of the production order requirements for planning, but V1 with the strategy blank will consider production order requirement. We'll see that in the further functions. But here I just want to clarify that the behavior of display is similar to VB only. So that is what the purpose I selected this scenario also for our discussion. Okay, next we will go through the current status of each material through stock requirement list. It may look like a repetition, but for clarity we'll go through them again. And then we will run MRP for the parent product. For all these components there is a one parent product, and then we'll check what is the output for each item that we will go through. So let us go through the stock requirement list of each material one by one quickly. So first CP1031. So here we see the stock is displayed. This is ROP, sorry, MRP type VB and strategy 10. So here we see only the production order reservation, right? Nothing else is there. And then we go to 1032. There is no requirement. Please see here, there is no requirement generated. Also then for 1032, that is VB and 40. Earlier we saw VB and 10, now it is VB and 40. there is no sale order, only production order displayed. Then 1033, here we see the sale order requirements, but the requirements not considered for available quantity calculation. Order reservation quantity from production order, they are shown here. Planned orders not displayed. Then here we see the reorder point and other details. So these are some ways to see all the details are met in MD04 itself. 1034, we see all the sale order details which are also considered for available quantity calculation. Also, it is showing the production order reservation quantity required for OP1001. This is V1 and 40. Please note it is V1 and 40. We have all the details. All the details are same. Then we go to 1035, and here we see the details of only the production order reservation. There is no sale order displayed here. This is V1 and the strategy blank. Okay. Now let us go and run MRP run through MD01N. This is MRP live transaction S4 HANA. Whoever using S4 HANA will know this. This is MD01N. If you are in ECC, you can use the regular transaction, no issues. So here we put the metals from CP1031 to CP1035. Sorry, the parent product I am running MRP here. GM101. This is the gear motor, which is the parent product for all the items. So when I run MRP, I am selecting all the BYM components have to be considered, and also the scheduling I am following, determining the basic date for planned orders, which is taking details from material master. Planning mode, I do not want system to delete and recreate everything. Normally it has to be avoided. Option 3 has to be avoided. So let us use 1 itself. Okay. Now let us execute this transaction. Right. Okay. So now for the MRP live, I detailed explanation is given in other playlist, which is going, the live session is going on as a continuous sessions every day. It is getting display, published. There is a SAP PP, SAP MM live interactive session. There is a playlist there where you can see all the details elaborately. Now we got the MRP output here by selecting line and see the metal list here itself. So here we can see the metals related to our scenario CP1031, 32, 33, 34, 35. MRP run has been successfully completed. So now we saw the current status of all the materials, and also we run MRP for the parent product, so that these metals also planned which are part of that parent product. Here we summarized metal wise MRP type, planning strategy, and ROP and stock details. Based on the requirements from sale order and production orders, let us see how procurement proposals are generated. First, let us check the procurement proposal generated for CP1031. So let us go through the stock requirement list. It will show the result of MRP run. Now after MRP run, there is no proposal for this metal generated. The stock is 120, production order reservation is 100. System has not considered these production order requirements. It considered only the stock. The stock 120 is more than ROP. Because of this, system has not generated any proposal. At the same time, let us go and see the sale orders. We saw that sale order earlier. Just I am showing you that during this time, the sale order it is still there. If you go and see, the sale order is there, still there for around 140 numbers in 140 pieces. System has not considered sale orders, and also in MD04 we see here I am showing you the full status here. Okay. Now also when you go back to the MD04, the sale order is not considered, production order requirements are not considered. System consider only the available stock. The available stock is more than ROP. It has not generated any procurement proposal. This is behavior of MRP type VB and strategy 10. So for CP1031, the stock is 120. Sale order for 140 is there. I showed you. Also the production order is there. Requirement is there for 100. But system has not considered any of these requirements. It compared the stock 120, which is more than ROP. It has not created any purchase request. Next, let us see CP1032 with MRP type VB and strategy 40. So we go through the stock requirement list of 1032. So here we see the details like this is material type, sorry, MRP type VB strategy 40, and the stock is 120. There is a requirement from production order 70 numbers, but system has not created any purchase request here. Okay, and also we will go and check whether any sale order for this item 1032. Earlier we saw that, but at this moment what is there I am showing you. So 1125 we go and check, sale order is there for around 140 pieces. So these sale orders with category CV and requirement type KSV, they are not considered for the planning purpose. So because of this, system has not created any purchase request for the combination of VB and strategy 40. Okay, there it is still, it is checking the stock 120 with reorder point 100. The stock is more than reorder point, so it has not generated any PR. For material 1032 with MRP type VB and strategy 40, stock is 120, ROP is 100. There is sale order for 140, requirement from production order 70. But system has not considered the requirement from sale order and production order. It considered only the stock, that is 120, which is more than reorder point. So system has not created any purchase request. So please note, VB with any planning strategy will not consider any requirements from sale order or production order. It will consider only the available stock. It will compare with ROP, then only it will proceed. Next we'll go through CP1033. So let us go through the stock requirement list of 1033 through MD04. So here you can see the stock 120 is displayed. Sale orders are displayed for this material. For each line item it is shown, but it is not considered for available quantity. And order requirement from production order 100 displayed. Purchase request 120 generated. Let us go and see the sale order list for 1033. So here in the sale order 1126, we see the schedule line category CP, which is from MRP type V1, and requirement type KSL from strategy 10. So these are not considered for the calculation. And also we see purchase request for 120 is generated. How it is done? Because system has considered the requirement from the production orders. Production order requirement is 100. Available stock is 120. This 120 minus 100 is 20. This 20 is less than the reorder point 100. So system has generated the purchase request for 120, which is the fixed lot size quantity. That is what we defined in the metal master. Let me explain this. See, system did not consider the requirements from sales order. See, now we have the stock of 120. There is a requirement from sale order 140. There is a requirement from production order 100 numbers. So what system arrived? It arrived the virtual stock, which is the current stock 120 minus production order quantity requirement 100, which is 20. Okay, this 20 is less than our ROP, which is 100. So based on this, system has triggered the procurement proposal. The procurement proposal is to cover the ROP plus the production order requirement. So that is why it has triggered the purchase request for 120 pieces. Hope it is clear. Please pause here just to go through the explanation so that you will get more clarity. Next, we will go to the CP1034 with MRP type V1 and strategy 40. Now we see the stock requirement list for CP1034. So now we see the stock 120. All the sale orders are displayed, considered for available quantity calculation. Reorder point is 100. Production order quantity requirement is 70. Total sale order requirement is 140 units. And the purchase request generated for 120 and 120. So there are two purchase requests for 120 plus 120. Because the fixed lot is fixed as 120, system has given two procurement proposals. So why these two has come? Okay, before that let us see the sale order requirements. So for this metal sale order, we saw earlier also in the procurement tab, the schedule in category CP because of MRP type V1 and requirement type KSV because of the strategy 40. Requirement 120 and 120 generated. So let me explain this. See, for the material CP1034, strategy 40, MRP type V1. The stock is 120. System has considered both the requirements from sale order and the production order, that is 140 plus 70. Now the virtual stock is arrived by deducting these 210 from stock 120, that is 120 minus 210, which is minus 90. This is less than ROP. Based on this, system has triggered the procurement proposal. The procurement proposal is 240, that is 120 plus 120. Why? Because the procurement proposal should cover not only the reorder point, but also it has to cover the requirement from sale order and production order. That is why it is created the quantity with the 2 PR. But why this 120? 120 is coming from the MRP1 view, the fixed lot size procedure and the fixed lots quantity. But please note, in 1033, with the strategy 10 and the requirement of KSL, system did not consider sale order. So that is why system has created only one PR to fill the requirement of production order only. But the 1034 with MRP type V1 with strategy 40, system has considered the sale order also. Then now system is proposing to cover both requirements from sale order and production order. Please note, this is the main difference. This is the key of this session. This is the critical area of this session. So please go through this difference clearly, right? So please pause here and go through all these comparisons. Next, let us see how CP1035 is behaving and giving the procurement proposal. So let us go through the details of CP1035. See, please note here, stock 120, production order requirement 70, one purchase request is generated for 120. Please note, purchase request generated for 120. The reorder point is 100. And also let us go and check the, in the metal master, we see that strategy is blank. So expectation is in sale order, the requirement type should be blank there also. Okay. Now, we are seeing the sale order there 1128, where in the procurement tab we can see the schedule in category as CP, which is because of MRP type V1, but requirement type is blank. Okay. So now, due to this, the sale order is not displayed in stock requirement list, and also it is not considered for the procurement proposal. System has considered only the production order requirement, so it has proposed the purchase request for 120. So for the CP1035, the stock is 120. System did not consider the requirement from sale order, it considered the requirement only from production order. So the 120 minus 70, the virtual stock arrived as 50, which is less than ROP, the 100. So system has triggered the procurement proposal for 120 only PR, the fixed lot size. And that is the quantity to cover the reorder point and the production order requirement. Please note, this behavior is similar to the CP1033, which is V1 and strategy 10. So when you have V1, if you are having strategy 10 or blank, system is not considering the sale order requirement, but it is considering requirement from production order. Also, please refer our earlier discussion on the display of sale orders in stock requirement list. In CP1031, CP1032 with VB, system did not show any sale order in system. Similarly, for 1035 also, it did not show any sale order in system. But the behavior is, for the planning, system is working similar to CP1033 and 1035. So the display is aligning with that VB and the combination, but the planning is working like V1 10 and V1 blank, right? So just that is why I showed you how the display will be there in stock requirement list, how the planning will happen. So now you will have understood. You should not be carried away only by the display in the stock requirement list, but also you have to understand how the planning engine is working, especially with the combination of this MRP type V1 and the strategy. So which setup supports the dynamic requirements? Now we see the matrix here which brings all the combinations together. Please note VB with any strategy ignores the requirements other than ROP. But V1 with strategy 10 or blank ignores the requirement coming from sales orders. So it is behaving partially. But the strategy V1, sorry, the MRP type V1 with the strategy 40 detects the sale order and also the requirements from production orders. So it triggers the requirement on timely basis to cover the ROP point, reorder point, and also the requirement from the dynamic requirements. That's why this combination is the practical answer to the dynamic business needs. Let us summarize the insights we gained so far and some best practices to ensure the benefit of this combination. What did we learn? We learned that with MRP type VB, whatever strategy used, system considers only ROP to plan procurement proposal. With MRP type V1, though the configuration is set to cover the external requirements, while using strategy 10 and blank, system considers only the requirements from production order and other orders, but it ignores the sale order requirements. Only with the combination of V1 and strategy 40, system considers both sales orders requirements and the pegged requirement from production orders. So let us summarize. V1 considers manual ROP and external requirements from sale orders, dependent requirements, and reservations. Strategy 40 with requirement type KSV ensures those external requirements from sale orders are deducted. Schedule in category CP is critical for sale orders to flow into MRP. With the proper parameters like planned delivery lead time and scheduling, reorder point planning becomes a dynamic and a responsive method. That's how business can handle dynamic demand without overstocking. As per standard SOP settings, schedule in category for MRP type VB is CV. It is possible to assign schedule in category CP to MRP type VB and also schedule in category CV to MRP type V1. But do not disturb these settings. Why? Please go through the table which is comparing the schedule in category CP versus CV. So here the effect of CP and CV with MRP type V1 we saw with a detailed demonstration here. And also with the CP, system considers the external requirements properly, and for business need, system will be reacting immediately with the CP. So let us follow the standard settings to get the maximum benefit from SAP. Let us not play with that. Just I would like to share one tips here based on my experience. While considering external requirements, there are two options for the time horizons. One is that the requirements within replenishment lead time, that is 2, and requirements in total horizon, that is 1. It is suggested to use 2 requirements within replenishment lead time. Why? The total replenishment lead time is the time needed before the product is completely available again. So covering the requirements within replenishment lead time will be sufficient to meet the dynamic requirements. If we select total horizon, the system will consider all requirements, more procurement proposals will be there, and it will lead to inventory buildup. Just to explain how replenishment lead time is arrived in SAP. SAP determines the replenishment lead time for materials procured externally by totaling number of the processing time for purchasing, and this is defined in configuration, the planned delivery lead time in MRP2 view, and goods receipt processing time from MRP2 view. This is for externally procured items. For externally procured item, system will not consider the replenishment lead time we maintain in MRP3 view. For in-house production item, system will give priority to the replenishment lead time in MRP3 view. If no value is there, then it will go to the work scheduling view, where it will check the setup time, interoperation time, and the processing time based on the base quantity defined and also the quantity what we need, the load. System will calculate this, take it as the replenishment lead time plus GR processing time in MRP2 view. So it will take details from work scheduling view and MRP2 view. If no details maintained in work scheduling view, then system will go to MRP2 view. Here it will check the in-house production time maintained in MRP2 view and the GR processing time. So this is the sequence of determining the replenishment lead time for in-house production items. So this is very important to understand how replenishment lead time is arrived and how it is affecting the external requirements when I select the option of 2, that is the requirements within the replenishment lead time. Here I would like to explain a very tricky point. Maybe it will take little more time in this slide, but this is very important to understand. In ROP planning, delivery date will be arrived with forward scheduling starting from the current date. Delivery date in PR is arrived based on the purchase processing time plus lead time plus info from the info record and the GR processing time. For more details, please refer the first video of this playlist. Now the replenishment lead time is based on purchase department processing time in configuration plus metal master planned delivery lead time and the GR processing time. So the delivery lead time in PR is based on lead time from info record. The replenishment lead time is based on the metal master planned delivery lead time. In case a info record lead time is more than the planned delivery lead time in a metal master, then the delivery date in PR generated for that item with that vendor will be beyond the replenishment lead time. Its purchase order will also have the same delivery date. So if there is a sale order with today's date, but PR and PO delivery date is beyond replenishment lead time, the availability check for the sale order will not be committed because it is beyond the replenishment lead time. So that sale order requirement will not be triggered for further planning. I mean, it will not be considered for further planning. It will wait for a few more days so the delivery date in PR and PO reach within the replenishment lead time. Please stop here. You please think about it. Put some example to understand this concept. Because this will have a lot of manual follow-up to check each sale order, do the availability check so that we bring it within the time limit for the procurement proposal for the reorder planning. To avoid this, it is better to commit the quantity from sale order with available stock, PR and PO. So system will automatically consider for next procurement proposal. For this, what we should do? So my suggestion is to keep the planned delivery lead time in metal master MRP2 view matching with the least of different info records. That's very important. The least of different info records and keep that as a planned delivery lead time. I hope this is clear. If not, please again stop here and discuss it. Okay, and also hear the discussion what we had so far. This is very important. Otherwise, the benefit will not get, the full benefit will not get. So let us wrap up the session. So to make SAP work for you, what is action point? Review the MRP types in your system or ROP materials using strategy 40 or schedule lines set to CP. Check planned delivery lead time and scheduling parameters. As a pilot run, pick 1 or 2 materials, test them. You can see the results immediately. And then with validation, you can proceed and extend it to other materials. I just told you, start with the pilot run with the 2 or 3 materials. To support this, in the next session, we will simulate 6 months of inventory behavior with MRP type VB and V1. I will add weekly demands, sudden spikes, supplier delays, and even quality rejections. Then we will compare how VB and V1 handle these situations. You will see how V1 delivers better service with controlled inventory. To close this session, remember the key. V1 with strategy 40 and schedule and category CP transform reorder point planning into dynamic method. It supports customer service, production and maintenance all while avoiding excess stock and improving delivery reliability. If you found this session useful, please share your feedback and post your questions in the comments. Like this, you may face many other issues. Share them here. I will try to discuss in detail. And do not forget to subscribe for more episodes in our channel SAP and SEM. We grow in consulting and training. Thank you. See you in the next session. Bye.